Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. He who is brave is free. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. While we wait for life, life passes. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Throw me to the wolves, and I will return leading the pack. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. We learn not in the school, but in life. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. The time will come when diligent research over long periods will bring to light things which now lie hidden. The day which we fear as our last is but the birthday of eternity. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. The greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. Nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles, it only changes them. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire? If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him. If stronger, spare thyself. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. Leisure without books is death, and burial of a man alive. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Let us train our minds to desire what the situation demands. Life is long if you know how to use it. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. It is quality rather than quantity that matters. Time heals what reason cannot. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. If we could be satisfied with anything, we should have been satisfied long ago. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A happy life is one which is in accordance with its own nature. He who has great power should use it lightly. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. You cease to be afraid when you cease to hope. No man was ever wise by chance. There is no genius without a touch of madness. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Life's like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. It is more fitting for a man to laugh at life than to lament over it. Remember that pain has this most excellent quality. If prolonged, it cannot be severe, and if severe, it cannot be prolonged. Consult your friend on all things, especially on those which respect yourself. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. No one can live happily who has regard for himself alone and transforms everything into a question of his own utility. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. They lose the day in expectation of the night, and the night in fear of the dawn. Expecting is the greatest impediment to living. In anticipation of tomorrow, it loses today. Our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind. There is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with.